this is the only life that you have, man. You gotta do it now,
Yes.
or you're gonna regret it forever.
Yeah.
Because if you are really interested in it, if you are really passionate into it, well, my personal experience is that I have a backup plan. So if I fail, what would happen? Because there's no doubt we don't know how the future is going to be. So at least when I have a backup plan, I have a sense of peace of mind lah.
Welcome back
Hello.
to Sigma School. Did you miss this place?
A little bit.
A little bit?
I've been only to this place about twice. Actually.
Twice? Yeah, we miss you at the potluck.
Yes, we did. Couldn't get there.
Because you live far away, right?
Yeah.
And also, thank you for doing this, because I know you guys came from super far away, and this is your off day. You guys are coming in here.
No worries.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
Okay, now let's start. How about you introduce yourself first, your name, what you're working as now, and so on.
Right. My name is Naqiuddin, but usually I'll allow people to call me Din for short. I am a software engineer now. I work in a company called. As a software engineer, I do both front end and back end. We do full stack. Our product is for fuel retail point of sale system.
Oh.
Yeah, so whatever that you see when you go for a fuel station, petrol stations, whatever that you see on the pump, to the cashier, to the HQ, it's part of our system.
Oh, sounds big. Is it a big company?
I would say so, yes.
Okay, so before you got to there, before you joined the bootcamp, where were you?
Before I joined the bootcamp, I was working as a senior project engineer. I worked in the construction industry.
You guys are successful people.
Thank God.
Okay, what? Okay, that was, senior, what was that again?
A senior project engineer, so I do project management for construction.
Oh my God, you already have like a big job. Okay, what what inspired you to make the change, the coding?
Inspiration-wise, I would say back in my third year of working, in my third year of previous career, I started to feel like I wanted to do something more than I was doing. Of course, initially I started venturing what can I do as a project engineer, but at the time it was also a hot career as a data analyst, data scientist.
It still is now.
It is now, right?
Yeah.
But even when back in 2021, I think it was the most hiring.
Yeah, it was in one.
So I wanted to get into that career as well. So I tried taking some courses online. So whenever I go back from work, I'll put some time into learning data analytics.
You have time for that?
Maybe 1 hour or two.
Okay, so you're quite disciplined,
Yeah.
From work, and you have a senior role from work, and go back home and self-learn.
It's more of a dedication, how much you want to put into it. But unfortunately, I did not make it through. Initially, I thought that, okay, maybe the coding part is not something that I can do, right? So I tried looking for some other things to do. I tried 3D modeling and so on. But after about a year or 2 years later, I decided that I wanted to look back, reflect back on what I've done. So when I look back at my projects for data analytics, I feel like I do like the coding part. It's just that maybe the dealing with statistic and probability is not something that I'm interested in. So I try to figure out what are the things that I can do that involve coding but not statistic.
Okay, so you don't like the statistic part,
Yeah, I
although
don't like the
data
math.
analyst was hard, but
Yeah.
okay, I see it now.
Yeah,
Why it's hard
yes,
because
yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
Okay. So after that, how did you find Sigma School? And you want to learn coding. How did you find this?
Right. So back when I was looking into data analytics, it was 3 years into my career. But back when I found my interest in software development, it was already 5th year of my career, right? So I'm getting older.
Oh, that's a long road.
Yeah, it was. So I started to do my research on what are my options. Obviously, there's a lot of advisors online that you can see. People are saying that you can do it self-learn. But I tried, of course, but I feel like if I really want to do this, I don't want to do it while I'm working. I wanted to like, if I really don't want to stay in my current job, I might as well quit and put my full focus on
So
learning
like
software
a
development.
complete resolve.
Yeah. So back then I figured going into a bootcamp is the safest way for me because it guarantees you a learning process lah, a more stable learning process rather than you try to find your resources online.
True. So you quit your job?
Yep.
Quit your job and just
Get into it.
dive into it.
Yep.
So you believe that, you know, having someone to teach you is better than self-learning?
I do believe so, yes. It's more of like because I'm doing such a drastic move by quitting my job, right? Especially with a senior position, of course, I have stepped the salary climb and all. So if I were to quit my job and do self-learning, if I got stuck anywhere, I figured I would be more stressed.
So you've researched the the path, if I take this, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Did you ever regret it?
Not really, no.
No?
No.
Even along the way?
Along the way, maybe a little bit. A little bit.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel like if I have stayed, I don't have to go through all this stress.
True.
But the fact that I joined the bootcamp, I joined a class where we have an instructor and friends, it helps you with your mental stability, I would say.
Yeah, because you're learning with someone,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, you have someone by your side and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. So what was your expectation and the reality of the coding bootcamp?
My expectation and reality, I would say it's about the same actually. There's not much different.
So you expected everything that happened?
Yes.
Oh.
My expectation is that I will get a proper guidance. That is my top expectation. I will get a proper guidance. Maybe the secondary expectation is that I will get moral and mental support, which are my friends, which are both are true. Back then we have an instructor, his name is MJ. So MJ helps a lot when it comes to I'm having some trouble understanding. I will have a one-on-one session with him and he will guide me through it.
So is it, does it reach your expectation or exceed your expectation?
I would say reach and exceed.
So you like it lah?
Yeah, I love it. Because on the same time, we also have friends that can, maybe after class, we can wait, I don't understand this, it was hard for me. It's either they will tell or share the same experience, like, I also don't understand. And you feel a little bit, okay, I'm not that
Okay, I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if they understood better, they can help you to fill up the gap, which is actually awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so when you joined the bootcamp, what was the hardest skill to learn and how did you find it? How did you, overcome it? Because it was hard.
Okay. Hardest skill. Okay. I feel like this may not be the most conventional skill. Okay. But the one thing that I've learned is the skill to accept that you don't know everything.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid. True. I think that's the first step towards successful learning, right?
Yes.
If you act like you know everything, then you're not gonna learn anything.
Correct. Okay. So you have to accept the fact that there will always be something that you don't know.
Yes, even if you're a senior.
Even if you're a senior, even if you're a tech lead, I believe so. That you have to have the hunger to learn.
True.
You cannot have the ego of that I know everything. This is simple, I know everything.
Yeah, I think that also leads to your success from switching to a senior project manager to you are right now. Yeah. So you joined the bootcamp on site?
No, online actually.
Online.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Occasionally I come to.
Occasionally you come.
Sometimes.
How was it for you? Do you prefer the online or do you prefer the on-site?
Actually, if I have the opportunity, I would prefer on-site. Just because I have the human interaction.
Get it? It's like COVID, you don't get human interaction, you go crazy.
Yeah, but because of my distance, I live in KL, my school is in Puchong, it was a bit too far for me to come.
I get it.
So I only come like whenever they have like a lunch
Free lunch.
things. Yeah, we'll come
You know, the
join
bonding
lah,
time,
yeah.
right? Okay. So what was your memorable moment here? Something that you remember, whether good or bad?
The memorable moment, I guess the graduating part lah. Finally, it comes to an end. It's a good and also bad, memorable. It's good because I finally achieved something that I've been doing for 4 months.
Yeah.
It's bad because now the reality starts.
Yes.
Finding the job.
Yes.
The
I
scary
get it.
part of, because before that I was like, oh, I'm focusing on my learning.
Focusing
Oh,
on-
I'm
yeah,
attending a
that's how people
bootcamp.
is, right?
But now I was like, oh, I need to start looking for jobs.
Good job. Do you get the dread, after, do you get the, the feeling of dread that you're not getting a job? Or you fear that interviewers are not hiring you because it's not a proper degree?
I do feel it a little bit initially, but sometimes in life you need to have full confidence on yourself as well. I do have the confidence that even though I don't have a computer science degree, but I do have my mechanical. I graduated as a mechanical engineer, right? That should, bring some values
Yep,
to the
true.
interviewers as
Yeah,
well.
all experience are valuable, right?
Yeah.
Are there any other challenges that you faced during the class? And how did you overcome them?
During the class is, alright, I would say that as an online student, the challenges is that you are alone. Even though you have your friends, but once you turn off your camera, you're doing it alone, right?
So it's better to join the on-site.
Yeah.
You would rather be on-site.
I would
right?
rather be on site actually. But if you are in a situation like me, you are an online student, one way that I overcome the challenges is to reach out. So don't be afraid, just reach out to your instructor. Your instructor are there for you. Even though back then, I'm not sure whether you have changed your syllabus or what, but back then, the class is in the morning until afternoon, and then afternoon until evening is, they call it the office hour, right? So the office hour are there for you to reach out to your instructor.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's still the same.
Yeah, right. So initially I thought that maybe my problem is doable for me to do it alone, but don't take too long for you to reach out. You can attempt to solve it alone, but if you struggle for too long, it's better to reach out, better to get it done faster rather than.
I think I have the same problem actually.
Really?
I always like, I have a problem. It's okay, I can do this alone until it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's better to reach out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. During your time here, what are the skills that you learn other than coding skills?
What are the skills?
Yeah,
that I
maybe
learned?
problem solving, communication, conflict resolution. I don't know.
Conflict wise, okay, I guess one thing that I've learned is I don't know the word, be meticulous, be sharp, be detail oriented. Maybe that one. Because in software development, every colon, every semicolon, every dots is really.
I've seen the jokes.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Oh, you didn't put something there. You left something.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was it. That was for you. It was attention to detail.
Yes.
Why? Because did you leave a lot of mistakes?
Initially, yes, but once I figured that out, I always double check my workload, my code. I make sure that everything is in line. Or if there is any problem, try not to think that you did a big mistake. Sometimes it's just a small dot.
True.
Yeah, you miss one dot, everything breaks.
True.
Yeah.
So previously you said along the way you had doubts, right? How did you overcome that doubt? Because from senior, I am shocked. Okay, senior project manager, right?
Senior project engineer.
Engineer, sorry. That is something so very far away,
Yeah.
And then you're studying something new. Of course, you're gonna have doubt along the way. How did you overcome that?
Doubts in terms of whether
whether you can do it, whether this is the right path.
It's a tough question. I would say that maybe a little bit of me still have that doubt, But I guess the majority part of it, the way how I overcome it is because just look at what you want to do, what is your interest. Because if you are really interested in it, if you are really passionate into it, then this is the only life that you have, man. You gotta do it now,
Yes.
or you're gonna regret it forever.
Yeah, you just quit your job.
Yeah.
You can't stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could have just stayed in my previous career, just become successful. With no doubt, I can be successful in my previous career, but maybe 2 years or 5 years later, I'll be like, what
Is
if?
this what you want?
What if back then I just decided like to just go with it, right?
It's good to regret to do it and not do it.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your final project. What was it about? What did you create?
For my final project back in the bootcamp, I did an app called Tidal. It's a task delegation app. Okay, I give it a name.
Okay.
A cool name, Tidal. So it's a task delegation app because I was in project management as a project engineer. One of the problems that I used to experience was I tend to get mixed up with what are the tasks that I have and what are the tasks that I've given to other people. So I make like a task tracking application, basically. So it was surprising and also exciting for me with the fact that I can solve my own problem. Or I wish that someone would have done it. Of course, there are a lot of other applications out there as well, but the one problem that I used to see with other softwares that it's too complicated. I just wanted something that focusing more on task delegation. So I created one.
I think it's great. Right? You get the idea from your previous job and you apply it to what you have now. Was it hard, to get it done?
It was hard, but it was doable. Thanks for the first 3 months of learning. Of course, the final project, we did it on the 4th month, the final month. So we were able to implement whatever that we have learned in the previous month.
Did you stay up or did you have any sleepless nights?
Yes.
Yes.
Especially because the final month was the Raya month for us. So for other people, they have 4 weeks, right? For me, I have like 3 weeks, right? Because 1 week is gone for Raya already.
So you have to catch up and everything.
Yeah.
So does that project help you secure a job or help you with an interview or anything?
Yes, I would say so, yes. I can share you my stories on how I got my current job. During the interview, they actually wanted to see my code. They didn't have any live coding session or anything. They literally bring out a laptop and tell me open your GitHub. We want to see your code.
So they were focusing on a real world project.
Yes, correct. So I guess for this particular interview, they want to see more on whether I have the concept understood or not. So when I open my code, I explain my code. I was able to explain my code. I guess that's what they appreciate. And of course, I guess more projects that I've done, the better lah, because I have more practical experience.
Right? Because these days, I'm not saying all, some computer science degree, they can code, but they can code to the extent of passing an exam, not to create a real world project. So I think it's great. So was that your first interview or?
Oh no, I think for the period of 2 months, there was a few more. Yeah.
So what was their concern, when interviewing you? Was it your qualification or was it can you code? What was their concern in hiring you?
I feel like most of it is whether you can do the job or not. Because of course, the moment I step into an interview, whether online or physical, the first question that they ask is, why do you change your career, right? And then the next, the second half of the interview is, can you do what we want you to do? So some will eventually give you a take-home assessment, and others will get you into a live coding session. So I feel like if you can excel on that, whether you have a computer science degree or not, it should not be a problem.
So what was your concern when you were doing the interview? Do you have any concerns? Were you afraid of anything? Because I don't have a qualification like these other people. Do you have any concern about that?
In terms of whether I have the qualification or not really too concerning, because I do consider that graduating for this bootcamp qualifies me to get a job. But my concern is mostly on whether I can do the assessment or not. But surprisingly, that most of the assessment that I did, or some that I did, they are very open for it, because even on assessment that I need to do a live coding, they are okay for you to Google if you don't know how to do it. Because I feel like now that I'm working as a software engineer, it's fine. We Google a lot.
We Google. We use ChatGPT and everything.
Yeah.
It's just like you need to know the basics of it, right?
Yes, it's whether you can Google and understood what you're Googling, or do you know what to Google is the key part, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people do that now, right? I think it's part of a problem-solving skill, right? If you don't know anything, Google. And then understand it, right?
That's the thing about solving a problem. You need to know what to solve first.
Yes. And when you Google, you already know the problem. That's the first step to it, right? Okay, now, how many times were you rejected, by an employer?
I would say a lot. Last time, I applied over 70 or 80.
Did you regret taking, the bootcamp at that time, because you were applying for jobs and you didn't get any at that time?
No, because thankfully for me, it only took me about like 2 months after graduating and then getting a job. Actually, I started off with an internship. I got a 1-month internship with a startup, but during that time doing the internship, I got a full-time job with another company. So
it worked out for you.
Yeah, it worked out for me. I guess along the way I just need to trust myself, even though there has been like some thoughts of maybe I should go back to construction, or maybe I should start applying to project engineering roles.
There are some thoughts.
There are some thoughts, but another part of me is like, I've done 4 months during this learning. Don't give up yet.
I like that. Yeah, because you quit your job, you can go back now.
Yeah, if I go back to construction, I'm like, then it will be a waste of time.
Yep, true.
But if I fight through it, then it's an
you
investment.
gain something, right? Yeah. Happy to hear that. It's really great. Now, okay, in the next 2 years, where do you see yourself in the tech expertise? Maybe you wanna lead a project.
In the next 2 years,
where do you see yourself?
Because before this, when I first started working as a project engineer, I aimed to gain my seniority within 5 years. But thank God again, I got my senior engineer role in 2 years.
You're already in the senior engineer role?
Yeah, in 2 years. So what I'm aiming for now is try to aim for the same lah. But
in 2 years.
I will try to attempt to. So if I put that as my goal, then I guess I will learn as much as I can to become a senior. But even if I don't become a senior in 2 years, I think I'm fine.
You're already a senior now. You're gifted. Okay, finally, do you have any advice for students out there who wanna learn coding, but they have doubts? Maybe someone like you, they're already in a senior position, then they wanna change careers, switch careers. Do you have any advice for them?
Right. For anyone who wants to switch your careers, I myself, as someone who has switched my career, I would say that I advocate that. I have, you can have my full support on it, I guess. I guess planning, because of course even for myself I have a lot of doubts, right? Can I do this? Can I really make it work? So what I did was I planned out, okay, what do I need to do? And if this is for me lah, for my personal experience is that I have a backup plan. So if I fail, what would happen? Because there's no doubt we don't know how the future is going to be. So at least when I have a backup plan, I have a sense of peace of mind lah. But once you get the plans all out, then you just have to trust yourself.
Okay.
Because your number one enemy is, yourself.
Yep, that's for me. Okay, congratulations. You
so
successfully switch from a senior position. Now you are in another senior position, but in coding. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
I can't believe it. And I think, yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much for having me. And I do hope that everyone else who wishes to transition their career, make it to what they want.
Listen guys, make it. That's all.
Thank you.